Welcome to the Valdosta Daily Times Online. I'm your host, news reporter Caitlin Barker. St. Patrick's Day is coming up Sunday, so I stopped by St. John's Catholic Church to speak to Father Dan O'Connell about the history behind it, as well as the election of the new Pope.
St. Patrick was a missionary. Actually, initially he was captured as a young man by Irish pirates, and he was brought to the north of Ireland, and he was sold as a slave. He went working for a man in the north of Ireland, herding and taking care of sheep on the mountains of the north of Ireland, and during that time, he had a conversion experience and felt called to ministry. So he escaped from Ireland and went back to his home, which was probably in Roman Britain at the time, which would be where the country of Wales, which is a part of the United Kingdom, is located. And eventually back to went to Rome and studied for the priesthood, was ordained and came to Ireland actually as a bishop in 432. He evangelized the entire island of Ireland, and everyone converted to Christianity. And because of his efforts, missionaries from Ireland have gone all over the world, to spread the gospel. And I guess I'm one of those who is inspired by St. Patrick's example to leave home and go to another country to share the gospel with other people. Well, in Ireland, the 17th of March is a national holiday. It's also a religious holiday, and it's a church day for the most part for people in Ireland. We have parades, football games, and it's a day when families get together to celebrate their Irish culture, heritage, and their faith. So, I mean, in Ireland, it's much more of a religious celebration. And in the areas of the United States, like we'll say Boston, Chicago, New York, San Francisco, and around Savannah, Georgia, where there's a large percentage of Catholics, it's a huge religious day, as well as being a kind of a cultural festival, as well as a celebration of Irish culture and heritage. I'm delighted, and I mean some of the initial symbolic things that he's done, like to me speak volumes. Choosing the name of Francis, for example, Francis of Assisi, I think is a sign to us, I think, of just a call to a simplicity of life, humility. And even the Pope himself, like as he began his presentation, he asked, before he gave the blessing, to the people at St. Peter's Square and to the world, he asked the people in St. Peter's Square to pray for him, and he bowed in silence, and the whole place kind of fell silent as they prayed for him, and then he gave the blessing. But it was, I think, a very symbolic thing, and I think he seems to just not want the trappings of sort of that sometimes come with that position, So I'm very impressed with him, and I've been on my computer this morning trying to find out what he's written, what he has said in the past, and what his vision for the church will be for the future. So.
3, 2. Thanks for watching this edition of the Valdosta Daily Times Online. I'm your host, news reporter Caitlin Barker, wishing you a safe St. Patrick's Day. We'll see you next time.